So look, the very straightforward and I think somewhat obvious answer here is cybersecurity. And of course, there are many flavors of that. But just to give you an idea of what the data suggests, 90% of partners believe that over the next 3 years, a significant portion of their growth will come from cybersecurity. And what's really interesting about that 90% is it splits down the middle. Half of the 90% already have a meaningful portion of their growth coming from cybersecurity. The other half don't. They have a small portion, if any at all, but they're expecting it to grow. And what that tells me is that if you're not planning now to position yourself well, you are going to find yourself on the wrong end of that equation with some of your competitors swooping in with cyber and you finding it even more difficult in the future to catch up because labor has become more scarce, because compliance has become more challenging and more complex, because overall technology and sprawl has become more complex. And so, and bad actors have become more sophisticated. So the longer you wait, the harder it is to get into this game. My very strong recommendation is that you lean in now. And one way to think about it, because there are so many ways to cut this, is imagine or lean in on verticalization. Think about which parts of the market, which industries, could be geographies, but think about industries that you want to serve. And that will be a path to solving multiple challenges for you, I believe. Growth is chief among them, but we also hear that you are challenged with upskilling your staff. You're challenged with securing infrastructure. You're challenged with customer budgets. If you verticalize, and let's say by example, you choose financial services as a vertical to go after, well, you're going to get really good at growth because you've built a product and a service offering that caters to an audience. You're going to get really good at selling that because you've sold it many times over, and each time you're speaking the language, and you've built something that is going to meet the need in a really, really crisp way. You're going to get better at upskilling talent because you focused the team on a real specific need that has to do, in this case, with financial services, right? They have a specific environment. You'll understand it, and you'll build your skills that way. You'll also be better positioned to secure that environment, which is challenge number 3 that we hear about, right? Because you understand it and you're specialized. And lastly, a customer budget challenge. Financial services, again, that's one example. But what I hear from MSPs is we don't build a good, better, best packaging when it comes to financial services. We only build a best because compliance and regulations require it, and they cannot go with a good. They cannot go with a better. It must be best. So huge opportunity, really, whether you're small or large, to lean in, both on choosing the right tech. When you're building your security stack, it's got to be best of breed. You cannot compromise.
100%.
Building the service around it, whether you're going to do that yourself, which you could, right? That's expensive and hard and takes time. Or if you outsource it through MDR, which is becoming more and more affordable and more popular. Doesn't matter if you're small or large.